Have you ever thought about being a coach or a mentor? You know, where you serve people. You know what? I think you would make a great coach. You just need to know the steps. Hey, welcome back to another great training video that's perfect timing for you right now in your life. The reason why I say it's perfect timing is because you are the kind of person who wants to make a difference. Now, there's not very many people like you, like us actually, who like to make a difference. But I bet you have some things that have happened in your life that if you could share them with people, you could help them avoid catastrophes, avoid issues. And you're that kind of person. You just have it in you. You wish you could help and save people time and money. Well, that means you're a coach. Or you could call yourself a mentor. So why don't you start calling yourself that every day as, hey, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor. I like to share my personal successes with other people. Now, before you discount the whole idea that you could ever be a coach or a mentor, let me ask you this. Have you ever faced challenges in your life? Have you ever faced problems in your life? Have you ever faced a difficult situation and learned a lesson? If you've learned lessons, there is somebody else in this world who's going to go down the same path that you've been down, exactly the same path, who's going to face the same challenge. But you've already learned a lesson. What if you could take that lesson learned and share it with people? It's kind of like you're driving down the road and you hit this big pothole in the road and it breaks your tire. Well, and then you go get your tire fixed. But then you go to the neighbors and you tell them, hey, watch out for this road. There's a big hole in the road. Avoid that. Wow, your neighbors are going to be so glad you helped them avoid a possible damage that could happen in their life, a costly damage. You see, instead of only being a person who warns their neighbor, what if you could actually teach your neighbor all the different lessons learned in your life? Well, first part is, if you want to be a coach or a mentor, you got to believe that you've had some success. Every lesson learned is a success story. To help you in moving forward in being a great coach or being a great mentor, what you want to do next is you want to find your black marker. Grab my marker. I left my marker there. So you want to find, what are all these lessons learned? What are the challenges that you faced? And what are the lessons learned? Because these lessons that are learned are valuable. They're super valuable. And to you, it seems like not much because you had to go through the pain and all the discomfort to make it happen. But to somebody else, very valuable information. So to help you take your life and turn it into something valuable to help somebody else, consider where you've been successful, consider where you've run into challenges and your lessons learned. Write them down. Get out a pad of paper, open up a journal, and start thinking about all the different things that have happened. If you are a parent and you have children and you've raised children, you know some things about parenting. You've made mistakes and you've also figured out what works and what doesn't work. That is valuable information to somebody else who's just starting out a family. What if you've opened up a business and you've been a business owner for a couple years? Well, you of course are going to know some things about business that the new person starting has no idea about. You could be a coach or a mentor to that person. And you know what? You could offer that time and that knowledge to the person for an exchange of money. I know it sounds crazy, but you could actually be paid for your wisdom and your knowledge. You get your successes lined up, you get your lessons learned, organized. You can take this information of everything you've learned and put it into the form of appointments. What you would teach, how would you teach them? What steps would be important for this person to know? And so if you could actually get your thoughts organized and put them in order about how you would share with a new business owner or a new parent or somebody who wants to, do this new hobby in their life, you could be a great mentor and coach to them. And people would pay you for that wisdom because it saves them time. It saves them time. And some people don't have a lot of time, and they would gladly pay you for what you know. Coaches and mentors have been around for, literally how long? Years and years and years and years and years, tens of hundreds of years. There's always been a coach or a mentor to help the up and coming people. Why not you? Why not you share your wisdom with other people? I think you just haven't thought about how to go about doing that. And what you do is write down your lessons learned, write down how you would share with people, the order of how you'd share that information, and get yourself organized. Now, I like helping people become a coach or a mentor, and that's why I teach a class called Art of Mentoring. I teach it right here in Salt Lake City. It's a 3-day training course, and I help you know how to teach people so that you can take your smarts, your wisdom, and help the next person. So you get yourself organized. And then the last one here is you begin to look at how can you exchange what you have for what they have. How much does a coach or a mentor get paid these days? Like, what does that look like, Kirk? Well, consider taking your information and putting it into 1-hour trainings. Like an hour of time that you would sit down with somebody, and this is what you would teach them in that hour. And now think about organizing this into 4 or 5 trainings. 4 or 5 trainings that are 1 hour each. And this is after you've written down all the lessons learned, everything you've learned along the way. Break it down into 4 or 5 lessons that are 1 hour each. And those 5 hours that you would spend with them, each one is their own appointment, 1 per week for 5 weeks. A person would easily pay anywhere from $250 to $500 for that kind of training. You're going to save them way more than $250 to $500. Way more than that you're going to save them. And if they really want to learn the information, you will notice they will do that exchange with you on the spot. He'll be like, wow, I could save myself years of making mistakes by working with you as a coach or as a mentor for me. And so people today are looking for coaches and mentors. Save them time. I know for myself, all the different coaches and mentors that I've hired has saved me a ton of time. I would rather learn from somebody else's mistakes instead of me making the mistakes, because mistakes are costly. They cost a lot of money and a lot of time. Why go through that? Now, you're also going to notice that a person would pay anywhere up to $700 to $1,000 for those 5 appointments. And the reason why that price would be higher is because you're really good at teaching. When you're really good at teaching and you're really specific in what you can teach and help a person with, then you'll notice that people will actually pay you more because your wisdom and knowledge is so much more precise. You could be a coach and a mentor, and you could teach from your mistakes you've made in your life, from the successes you've had in your life. People pay for school all the time. Go to universities, colleges, trade schools, and they're learning from people who have already done this before. Why not have people learn from you? If you're ready to serve people and ready to help people, write this information down. Organize it into 4 or 5 lessons that are 1 hour each. And then start telling people that you love to teach. And these are the topics you love to teach on. And when a person asks you, hey, so how does it work in working with you? Let them know how much the mentoring package is. Now, if any of this catches your attention just for a little bit, what you want to do is you want to go to my website at 3keyelements.com or click the link below and look at the course I have called Art of Mentoring, about how do you get yourself organized? How do you teach people? How would you put this together? And I can help you. The course is right here in Salt Lake City, extremely affordable. You will earn back your tuition in a short amount of time. Super affordable so that you can get your smarts and your wisdom out to the people. That's gonna make a huge difference. And why let all the smarts sit inside of you and not benefit other people? Why would you do that? Why would you just let it sit in here? Oh, I know why you would. Because you don't think it's valuable. We'll talk to the person who's struggling. Talk to the person who's confused. Talk to the person who's trying to figure things out in life. They wish they could learn from you. People are willing to pay for great education, and you could be that educator. Share with them what's happened in your life. Save them time, save them money, and help them get ahead in life. Help them move forward. I think you're meant to be a coach or a mentor.